Hi, you guys. It's Yaz. And today I'm going to talk about 7 things that a narcissist never really gets over, okay? Narcissists move on to new supply. They start with someone else. They look happy and everything like that. But believe it or not, you may still have an impact on that narcissist and you don't even realize it. So let me get into what narcissists don't get over. Number 1, and this is a big one, narcissists don't get over your rejection, you rejecting them. Let's say you did a reverse discard where you said, you know what, I've had enough of this. This person is not putting anything into the relationship. I'm not feeling any love here. They couldn't care less whether they see me, whether they call me or anything like that. And you decide, you know what, I've had enough. And you do a reverse discard where you let the narcissist go. Well, guess what? You just rejected that narcissist. See, the narcissist in their minds think that you're not going anywhere because they remember how they had you hooked during the love bombing stage. They remember how thirsty you were for them. So narcissists automatically think that you're not going anywhere. So when they see that you do a reverse discard and you say, you know what, I had enough of this. I'm moving on. I'm out of here. I'm going no contact, right? That's a rejection. That's a narcissistic injury. And that's very hard for a narcissist to get over because in a narcissist's delusional mind, they feel like they haven't done anything wrong. They feel like the problem is you. What they do is justify the relationship to work in their favor. They feel, well, if the relationship went bad, that's because of you, not them. They only look at all the good things that they thought they did for you. Just the fact that they were in your presence makes them feel like they did you a favor. So here you are walking away, and the narcissist just can't deal with the rejection. Another way they can't deal with the rejection is when you want a divorce, okay? Again, it's another narcissistic injury. And narcissists have a hard time getting over a divorce, and that's why they seek revenge. When you go for a divorce with a narcissist, they are going to look to take your eyeballs out because, again, it's a narcissistic injury. You don't want to be with them. And, that's a shot to their ego. How dare you not want to be with them? They're so great, So they're going to have a hard time getting over that rejection or getting over the fact that you don't want to be with them anymore. That's why divorce from a narcissist could be so wicked. They want to seek revenge. They want to hurt you financially. They want to hurt you with the kids. They're going to do everything they can to torture you when you try to divorce a narcissist. How do I know? I've been through it. I went through court for over 3 years and then 7 years later had to go back to court because I was dealing with a narcissist that was still vengeful, still looking to seek revenge because of the rejection, because I didn't want the marriage anymore, because of what I was going through, all right? Next thing that narcissists never get over, the fact that you're not chasing after them, okay? Narcissists think that you're going to be always chasing after them. And when they're in for a rude awakening, a lot of them, because not everybody chases after the narcissists. A lot of people don't. A lot of people go no contact and, they've had enough. A person gets to a point where they say, you know what, I've had enough of this. I'm tired of being treated like garbage, like crap. I'm not going to take this anymore. I'm not chasing after you. If you're not putting into the relationship, so be it. So then, we'll go no contact. We won't deal with each other. So they're going to have a hard time with the fact that you're not chasing them anymore because they're used to you being so attentive, calling them, being on the phone with them. And now all of a sudden, you've done an about face. Now the narcissist is seeing a different type of person you are, that they no longer have the control over you. So narcissists have a hard time getting over the fact that you're not chasing them either, because they want you to always feel like, they were the greatest thing that ever walked into your life, that you can't live without them. So they always want you chasing after them. That's why they shoot you down too, because they feel if you have low self-esteem, you're going to need them. But when they see that you don't, you're not falling apart, you're not chasing them, that's something that a narcissist will have a hard time, they'll never get over that, all right? What's another thing that narcissists never get over? You being happy. They want to sabotage you. Narcissists never ever want to see anybody else happy because they're miserable, miserable people. That misery loves company. So they're going to have a hard time getting over the fact that you're happy now that you have left the narcissist. Maybe they see you've moved on into another relationship, and it's going to eat away at the narcissist. They don't want to see you move on in your life. They want to, strangle you to the point where you have no life. That's why a lot of them won't even co-parent with you, because they don't want to, give you the freedom to be able to get out. They want to leave the kids, leave the responsibility with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They make excuses why they don't get the kids and stuff like that. Why? Because they don't want to give you your freedom so that you could be happy and move on in your life. How do I know? Because I've lived that, okay? Everything I'm telling you, you guys, is factual, all right? They're very vengeful. When they realize you don't want to be with them, they can't get over it. And so they don't want to see you happy. They don't want to give you freedom because they can't get over the fact that you're moving on in your life. A narcissist does not want to see you move on in your life and be happy on top of it. Is another double-edged sword, in their back, thinking that you don't need them, you don't want them, and you're moving on and you're happy. Whether you have somebody or you don't have somebody, they never ever want to see you move on and be happy, all right? Next thing that narcissists never get over is the fact that they're losing your supply. Now, this can go two ways. If you're a person that, the narcissist can replace you with another supply that's offering the same thing that you're offering, they'll be okay. But if you have a good supply, you're a grade A supply, you're offering something to that narcissist that they can't easily get somewhere else, they're going to have a hard time getting over that. They're going to have a hard time getting over whatever you have to offer. Maybe you have a lot of money. Maybe you offered opportunities to start them up in a business. Maybe you had a beautiful home that they love to hang out in. Maybe you gave them great sex. Maybe you gave them a lot of attention. And now they're out there with other supply, but they're not getting what they got from you. Then they're going to have a hard time getting over you, okay? Because they're not getting fed that grade A supply. So they're going to have a hard time getting over the fact that they no longer have access to that supply that you had to offer them. It's really going to disturb them. That's why, again, they will try to seek revenge. Somehow they'll try to hurt you, maybe smear you, maybe try to get you in trouble with the law, call the authorities on you, get you in trouble any way they can legally. All right, they're going to try to hurt you with the kids, try to get the kids against you, whatever it could be. When narcissists do this, it's because narcs can never get over it. They can never get over you and what you had to offer them, all right? So them losing your supply is going to be something for them to hard for them to get over if you had a very good supply. The other thing that narcissists have a hard time getting over is losing control over you. Narcissists, we know, live and breathe for control. They want to control everything. They want to control who you talk to. They want to control how you dress. They want to control your life, what you do, what you don't do. They want to control your emotions, that you're happy, you're sad, you're angry. Why? Because it means you care. All right. So when narcissists see that they're losing control over you, now you're indifferent. Now you couldn't care less about what the narcissist has to say. They have no effect over you whatsoever because you've come to the realization that you are dealing with a toxic person. Now the narcissist has absolutely no control over you. The narcissist is going to have a hard time because narcissists don't like to lose control. And when they see that they're not able to have an effect on you, maybe they hoover you and you don't respond, that is going to affect the narcissist, okay? Because they no longer have control over you. Next thing that narcissists can never get over, when you expose them, okay? Again, you're causing a narcissistic injury. When you expose the narcissist, you are like really destroying their ego because you're showing everybody that they are toxic. You're putting shame on the narcissist, and it destroys their image. It destroys their reputation. And that destroys the narcissist, because one of the most important things to a narcissist is their image and how people view them. So when you expose the narcissist, they're going to be distraught over it, and they're not going to forget it. They're not going to forget it. See, when you expose the narcissist, you got to be careful that narcissist doesn't retaliate, because a lot of them do. All right. So always know who you're dealing with. What type of narcissist are you dealing with? Are you dealing with a dangerous narcissist? If you're dealing with a dangerous narcissist, you have to be very careful, because it could be dangerous for you to expose that narcissist. But I'm not going to get into all that. This is just talking about things that narcissists never get over. And they won't get over the fact that you caused that narcissistic injury of exposing them. All right? You tarnished their image. So one other thing that I want to throw in here that narcissists never get over, that they were not able to destroy you. You've moved on, you're happy, and that is one of the biggest narcissistic injuries, is to see you move on in your life and be happy, all right? So these are all the ways, these are all the things rather that narcissists never ever get over. It's causing a narcissistic injury. And narcissists, that's why narcissists will keep trying to hurt you. I had a woman ask me, she said the narcissist moved on to the new supply, but he kept bringing up the new supply to her and shoving it in her face, the new supply's name and this and that, kept talking about the new supply. And she said, why is he doing that? He already discarded me and he moved on to somebody else. Why does he got to keep bringing up the new supply, new supply, new supply? Because he is trying to destroy you. That's why. Because he wants you to fight for him. That's what he wants. He wants you to beg. He's trying to get you jealous. He's trying to get under your skin. Maybe he sees that you don't care and he wants you to care. Narcissists, it's an ego boost. All of this, you guys, is an ego boost. The narcissist needs constant ego boosts to feel like they're super terrific, they're wonderful, they're the greatest thing that walked the earth. They have to feel like they're a somebody or something, all right? So, the things that narcissists never get over is your rejection, the fact that you rejected them, or maybe don't want them anymore, or wanted to get divorced. They don't get over the fact that you stopped chasing them, all right? It's going to bother them that you stopped chasing them. They never get over the fact that you're now happy. It's going to disturb them that you've moved on and you're happy. They never get over the fact that they're losing a good supply. If you have a good supply, remember, that depends on what you had to offer the narcissist. If you had something to offer them that they could get somewhere else, they're not going to miss the supply because they can get it from somebody else. But if you had something different, that maybe somebody else doesn't have, like I said, maybe you have a nice house that they like to hang out in and the other supply doesn't have that, all right? That they will miss that nice house. They will miss, maybe you had good sex. They may miss the good sex with you if the other supply doesn't have that, all right? They will miss losing control over you, the fact that they can't, affect your emotions. You're no longer getting angry. You're no longer fighting with them, all right? They'll never get over the fact that you exposed them and humiliated them, okay? That's a big one. Narcissists, again, when you cause that kind of narcissistic injury, you better watch your back, okay? You better watch your back, because if you humiliate a narcissist, they will seek to destroy you, try to get revenge on you, any way they can, because you have tarnished their image, and their image is so fragile. Their ego is so fragile, and they're not just going to walk away and say, oh, okay, you exposed me. Now, some of them may run. Obviously, some of them may run, but they're still not going to get over it. And they're still going to be really, really angry to think that you had the guts, you had the balls to expose them. That bothers them because they want you to, be afraid of them. They want you to be timid. They want you to just, walk away and be intimidated by them. But when you expose the narcissist, you are standing up to the narcissist. You're showing them, you know what? I'm going to let everybody know what you are. I don't care, Now I'm really going to put you on blast, all right? Now I'm going to put you on blast. So, that's all fine and good. But again, be careful when you expose the narcissist, depending on who the narcissist is. If you're dealing with a dangerous narcissist, I don't recommend that you expose them because they will come after you, all right? They will come after you in some way, some form, try to hurt you, all right? They're not just going to let it go. That's what you got to remember. Narcissists will never just let it go. They're going to make you pay for any kind of narcissistic injury that you inflict on them. Okay? So I hope that helps you guys. If it does, hit the subscribe button, share the podcast. If you're looking for confidential one-on-one phone coaching, check out the link in the bio at askyaz.wixsite.com/thegameexposed. I have limited time available, you guys, because I've just been overworked, just completely overworked, just a lot going on. And I have another project too that I'm working on. Check out also my YouTube, over 6,000 videos where I really lay it down. I think I've covered almost everything. I talk about the manipulation of the narcissist. I talk a lot about the covert narcissist. I talk about the discard, reverse discard, triangulation, word salad, all the ways to try to defeat and beat the narcissist. Check out my YouTube at the Game Exposed podcast. TikTok is the Game Exposed. Instagram is the Game EXP, and Facebook, I may be changing Facebook pages. Right now, it's the Game EXP 777, and have a great day, you guys.